And now what I want to talk to is, so again, I'll follow up with another video, but this is why I'm using those dressing. All the videos I've been doing is exactly beside one dressing that I changed the same day, because I went with this dressing and it was way too much fluid and it was late at night. Beside that, and that was a mistake of my part, I was trying to do it and it didn't work. So but obviously if I would have had a choice, I would have took the other thing, but I wanted to see what had happened. So it was a little bit of an experiment I did that didn't work. So all those dressings that I did, so I did one, well, first day, and then day 3, then day 7, day 9, and then day 14. This is all the dressing change I did. All this, the rest of the time it stays exactly. So after I go out like this, I do all my days and everything and stuff, and it goes. If you would have put gauze on this, like I said at the beginning of those dressing, it would have been a dressing change 2 to 3 times a day, especially with the fluid that was coming out with this. So basically this absorbs a lot of the fluids that a gauze I would have needed to change, because that maceration that I had before when I tried smaller gauzes, well, gauze would have absorbed that. It's just like it's cotton. So just like when you have cotton t-shirt, when the cotton is wet, humidity goes inside, and as well as bacteria stays there. So basically all your wound gets worse. Plus you would have to had what those things are impregnated with. This would have a cream that you would have had on to your gauze before you apply this. So basically it would have been 2 to 3 days changing your dressings, and also being very careful not to wet it from the outside, meaning like if you do other activities and stuff. If I would be in a self-reliance situation or in a survival situation or even the outdoors, that dressing would have been perfect. I would have been able to do all that stuff. Yeah, okay, I would have been able. I would have had to wear maybe a bigger glove if I would have had to go on the outside in the cold or something, because you want to protect this because there's no skin. But that's it. So this is the advantage of those dressings versus stuff. Yes, they cost a little bit more, but weight-wise, they're smaller. I didn't need any antibiotics or anything like this. The dressing was doing exactly what other dressing, like the silver, I would have had to have that and everything. And that big piece of that's all I use. For all the dressing that I did, this is the last piece of it. So that big square that I had like this is the last piece of it. So all this took me for my dressing. So all the $30, the $35 square, that took me for, and we're now in day 14. So basically for 2 weeks I had this piece. So you carry, let's say, 2 pieces like this, and you can have like 2 wounds about that size, and you could treat that. And also now this silver, if you would add another infection, like I said, if you had another kind of wound, not just a burn, but another kind of wound that had another infection, you can use that as well. If you have flamazine, which is just for the burns, it's pretty much just good for burns. There's other use, but mostly like 99% of the time would be for burns. So that's it. So now you have a cream that's used only for something and not for the other stuff. So this is the advantage of those dressings versus the other. They're multi-purpose, they're not heavy. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but you're paying for the technology. But the technology, it's worth it after that, because now in an envelope about that size, I can take care of wounds that are pretty nasty like this, and now I just prevented infection. I mean, there's no infection in that, and I was able to do it all again. Don't recommend if you have situations where you can access the hospital. I was able to evaluate that every time, like I did on videos, because I was able to evaluate because of my knowledge of wounds. But you would have need someone to stuff. So yeah, so that is the advantage of those dressing. I'll do another videos after that to see when it heals and stuff and follow again. But that's what I wanted to do with this series, is to show the benefits of those dressings. Yes, they are expensive, but put that cost away and think about all the other advantage about it. Because at the end, that $150, $200 kits that you have will go way further than any of the other stuff that you'll buy. Yes, 75 cents, because people will compare a gauze to this good, and they say, oh yeah, well the gauze is cheaper, but it's not comparable. It cannot be compared that way, because the cost is on the long run. Like that 14 days dressing, this is where the cost is. This, how many gauze I would need to do is like, this would have been enough for dressing. And some first aid kits, that's what they have. They have about 2 pieces like this. I would have needed about, let's say, something like this twice a day for 14 days. Twice, I'm saying twice because I'm generous, but probably was 3 times a day with the liquid that was coming out of that thing. So 3 times a day, that much gauze. And I folded so to show you about the length, but that would have mean how many gauze, and plus all the other gauze that you would need and stuff. So it's very easy to see how much a box of 100 gauze will go very quickly. And what's a box of 100 gauze? That's what it is. Me, it was about it's maybe that big of stuff that I carry with me. I was able to carry everywhere. And you could see from the background I was traveling and everything like that. So this is the advantage of those things versus the gauze. That's why I believe in those, and that's why I'm using them on me. Talk to you soon.